All right. So it says we're live. Hello and welcome. This is the Bill McIntosh Show, and I'm flying solo today. Normally, I've got my sidekick producer, Nick. He's here helping me out, but today I'm flying all by myself, and we're doing something unusual. So I'm live streaming on regular wide format. I'm also live streaming on vertical format, and we're live streaming over on X and some other places all at the same time. So I want to see that this is all working and that we're here. So do me a favor out there and give me a big, excited, warm hello out there in the chat. So it's a bit odd trying to stay right in the middle. So for vertical streaming at the same time as horizontal streaming. And supposedly we're streaming on X. And let's see, did my notifications go out? The audience looks a little bit light today. Let's see if Morrow Post went out. Let's see. Let me get in there and make sure our reminders went out. And there we go. Oh, it says it went out. Okay. And it says it was delivered. Okay. Well, awesome. So that is confirmed. Now, something kind of interesting. We are streaming on X as well, which is all new for me. So here, let's go see how that's going. I'll share my screen. You guys can come along with me while we go over to X. And that is right there. There we go. And it's also a little bit weird the way our camera works today. Yeah, so I get to play around with all this stuff while you guys watch. But there we go. Here is on X. I want to refresh and see if something changes once we went live. So I don't see a different live thing. But if we go here, there we are. So we are live on X. That is cool. So, okay, good. Well, then that worked. And there we have it. So welcome to the show. Today is all about how to start a business with AI. We're going to talk about 2 different ways that you can do that. We're going to use a little bit of deep research magic to help you start a brand new business. It's really simple. You're going to love it. And we're also going to talk about a quiz. Did you know that there's a quiz? You wouldn't know because I just put it online this morning, but there is a quiz that you can go through and answer. And at the end, it builds your perfect business. So imagine that. Imagine like you have a business idea, or maybe you're not sure what to build, or maybe you just want to figure out how to get some money coming in online, but and you're a bit unsure of that. I'm sorry, I got notifications coming in. I got to silence my notifications. 1 second here. Forgot to do that. Okay, cool. Awesome. There. Now, hopefully that'll silence all the notifications. And and so anyway, we're talking about a quiz. How about a quiz that no matter what stage you're at, whether you have an idea, you know exactly what you want to build, or maybe you have no idea at all, you go through and answer some quiz questions, and AI pops out of business. Complete, ready to go. Wouldn't that be cool? So we're going to show you that a little bit later. That's part of what we're going to cover today, as well as some good old-fashioned market research that is going to, you're going to use AI to do a ton of research and spit out business ideas for you. And I'm going to show you how with 2 clicks, you can then launch them. So you're going to have 2 paths. You can go with research, or you can go with answer a quiz and let AI take the wheel. So whichever way you want to go, you will have an option. And I can see our audience has built up a little bit. And everybody, you're going to have to forgive me because I can't see the chat panel over there. So I'm going to have to figure that out. Normally, I have producer Nick here helping me out with the chat panel. But yeah, so let's do this. I think I can show the chat panel on screen. So let's do this. Give me a big shout out in the chat. Tell me where in the world you are. Here, we'll turn it on. There we go. And let's make it taller. Let's see, wide and tall. No. Let's see, that way. There we go. So give me a shout out in the chat. Let me know where in the world you are. And if you're new, say I'm new. If you're new to the show that we do here on YouTube, say I'm new in the chat. And it'd be awesome to see that. And I think I can see it coming through on YouTube. Let me see if that's coming through over on X. Let's take a look at X and see if that is also coming through. So we can see, there we go. Okay, it is. Awesome, awesome. That is fantastic. Okay, and actually we got 180 views on X so far. That's pretty good. I'm doing a little hack, by the way, to drive up the views of that show over on X. So discovered a little hack I can do with the Twitter ads. Anybody interested in Twitter ads? Oh, and I realize it's not on me anymore. Here we go. So if anybody's interested in learning how I'm using Twitter ads to help me build that audience over there, we just restarted basically over on X. So I've been dormant over there for quite a long time. I had built a big audience up there years ago and just sort of abandoned it and walked away. And I very rarely post there. That's all about to change. I'm going to be fully embracing X. I think it's a very underlooked, awesome channel. So we can talk more about that if you guys are interested in how to use X and how to use the X ads particularly to get things going there. Okay, awesome, awesome. And that is great. So, okay, I'll turn off the chat panel. I'll try to turn it off and on as we go. And again, apologies if I can't see it because, I don't have my my trusty sidekick here to help us today. And I think that's it for just leading up to the show. I feel like, maybe I can open up my phone and see the chat panel through YouTube Studio. Let's find out. Let's see if we can do that. So stand by, everyone. Apologies for the little delay while I get this sorted out. Again, it's a little bit of an off day today, trying to get in there. So I realize we have two studios. That's crazy. 1, 2. Okay. Okay. Looks like we're in both of them. And okay. Yeah, YouTube is a little bit wacky when you're streaming on vertical and on horizontal. You actually have to make 2 live streams. And it looks like I cannot see my stream through my chat. Let me see if I go to Let's see here if I go to my YouTube channel directly. Let me see if I can do that. Channel directly. Let me see if I can do that. Okay, I can see the chat there. Okay, so see, if I watch myself, I can see the chat. All right, funny workaround, but hello and welcome. And do me a huge favor. If you are interested in how to use AI to kickstart and launch your career as an entrepreneur, to build, grow, and scale your business, give this video a thumbs up. It tells the YouTube algorithm to share it with the world so we can get those numbers pumped up because, yeah, we need bigger numbers. These are amateur hour numbers here on the channel right now. And so, and by the way, if any of you are watching me over in our school group, make sure you click through and watch on YouTube so you can chat with everyone. So I won't see your chat if you're on our school group and watching from there. Definitely click through and come to YouTube, and then I will be able to see the chat and you can engage with everybody else that is here. Okay, fantastic. Then I am multitasking like crazy today. But there we go. Okay. Sorry, everyone. Okay. All right. now that I've got all that fiddling around handled, let's talk about what the show's content's going to be. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, we're going to give you 2 different ways to use AI to instantly pop out of business. And I really mean instantly. So I'm going to give you 2 completely different strategies. One, it's actually a tool that my team launched. Actually, my other son, Dylan, created it. I'll show it to you in a minute. And we launched it, and you'll be able to answer a quiz. And I'm actually going to be doing live testing. So this is the first time I've ever publicly used this tool. So I'm on a high wire without a net. We will see what happens. And I'm going to answer some quiz questions, and we'll see if it can actually build me a business as you watch. So that'll be session number 1. Session 2, again, is going to be all about using what's called deep research, because there is a very specific way to come up with a business idea that is just amazing, just awesome. So especially if you kind of have an idea of a niche that you're thinking about serving, maybe, it's like, oh, maybe I'll help with the nurses, or maybe I'll help with entrepreneurs or affiliate marketers, or maybe I'll help with, people who have misbehaving dogs, or people who are interested in natural health or meditation or whatever you're thinking about. You just start with a general niche idea, follow the process, and you get a business at the end. So it's pretty cool. So there we go. That's the 2. So 1, we'll start out with, you don't even need a niche idea at all. And then 2 is going to be all about, building a business with a niche idea. All right, cool. Then we are good to go. I'm going to go ahead and get started. And before I do, I'm going to take a super quick ad break. Some of you will still be here with me. We'll take a quick ad break, and then we're going to start off with today's content. We'll be right back. Okay, just needed to get some quick caffeine and get set up here. A little scrambling at the last minute today with producer Nick being out sick. Turns out that I think he got COVID, and guess who else is coming down with it? Yeah, yours truly. So I'm at the moment, I can tell my immune system is fighting back the vid, and we'll see if it wins. So I am apologies today, but I am a little bit under the weather, while Nick is completely under the weather. And with that, we shall begin. And today I have a combination of a prepared script along with some training, some actual how-to training that I'm going to show on the web. And we're going to start out here. You know what? We'll start out with the quiz. Well, I'm going to ask you. Answer in the chat. Would you rather me start with the quiz strategy or the research? Quiz or research? I'm going to look at the chat. You vote. That'll be the first one we start with. So do you want to be able to start with could be anything. You'd have no idea at all, no niche, no nothing, and you start with a quiz, or you kind of have a niche idea and you can start with some research. So give me a niche. You can say quiz or a research. Quiz or research. And let's see here what we got in the chat. So the answers are starting to come in. And we'll give it a moment so everyone's answers can come in. So again, don't be shy out there if you're being quiet out there. Give me a quiz or a research. Quiz or research. And looks like my chat on my phone is delayed. Isn't that great? Okay. Thank you for that. The answers are coming in. So I'm waiting for the delay on my chat. I'll just look over here. So it looks like... Who's winning here? Who's winning? Okay, it looks so far deep research is winning. So if you want me to start with quizzes, you better vote now because we're about to start. So research or quiz? This is it. Last chance. We got 1, 2, 3, 4 quizzes, 5 quizzes, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 researches. And a lot of you are being quiet out there, so I can see the audience is being very quiet. Okay. All right. Oh, now it looks like we're tied. Okay, here, let's go with the quiz. I'm going to stop fiddling around with that. We're just going to go with the quiz. Okay, so let's get this set up. And again, this is the very first time I have unveiled this ever. And so I'm going to record a quick little intro, and then we're going to dive into it. So here we go. So you're interested in making money online, and you'd like to use AI to get the work done. Well, I have something pretty awesome for you, because today in this video, I'm going to show you how a simple quiz, you just answer questions in a quiz, and it will guide you through, advise you, and help you launch the perfect business. You can start out with an idea. Let's say you already have an idea of what niche market you want to go into, but you're not sure about the business. It'll help you figure it out. Or if you have no idea at all where to start, it's going to help you as well. So it is pretty cool. We'll go step by step by step through the quiz. I'll show you how it works, and then you can go use it yourself to build some amazing businesses. You can just unleash AI to build the whole thing for you. So are you ready? Let's dive in. Okay, so here is the quiz research tool that I am going to use. Let me just adjust my screen just a little bit here. And you got 3 choices as you're going in. You can say, I know what I want to build. I have an idea, but I need help working out what to build, or I have no idea where to start. Okay, so we're going to start with that. I have no idea. So it's like, hey, I'm Bildy. What's your name? So I'll put my name in. Continue. Who would you like to help with your business? Well, you could actually give it some ideas if you know, or you can say, I'm not sure. Help me decide. And you can say, what topics or type of people do you enjoy? Okay, so this is all about discovering your audience of who your niche should be. We're going to use some very specific strategies based on your answers to help you figure that out. So we can come in here, and let's say for me as an example, I'm just going to answer this honestly for myself. And so I'm going to start out with saying entrepreneurs, and then I'm going to do comma. And of course I spelled it wrong again. Let's fix the spelling. Entrepreneurs, I'm going to say people interested in, I'm going to call it natural health. I'm going to say people over 50 who want to live a longer and better quality life. And I'm going to start with that. Okay. Now you would answer what these true answers are for you. And it could be anything. It could be you're interested in helping people with pets. And here I'm going to zoom in on this quiz as well, so you can see it a little bit better on the screen. And then we're just going to say continue. Okay. And we'll zoom back out just a bit. And it actually is giving me some recommendations. Okay, so we could go with individual over 50 that are having sleep issues, remote workers who are looking to reduce burnout, midlife adults exploring natural supplements, wanting evidence-based guidance, entrepreneurs dealing with chronic stress. You know what? I like this one right here. Entrepreneurs dealing with chronic stress who want natural health-based stress management programs. That's what that one is. So I'm going to hit continue. And it says, what problems does this help them solve? So in your business, if you have an idea of different problems or things that you might want to help your potential niche market with, you can type them here. But if you don't know, you just say, I'm not sure, help me decide. So here it says, what general idea should we focus on? So if we go back for a second, let's go back. So we're talking about entrepreneurs dealing with chronic stress who want natural health-based stress management programs. So we can come in here and we can say, in general, what could we help them with? Picking healthy supplements, coming up with healthy daily routines. And then if you don't know, you can leave it blank. And we'll go continue. So now AI is busy going out there and finding some problems to solve. Okay. And it's what's going to give us some examples. They waste time trying to find supplement ideas. They struggle to track how different supplements affect their stress levels, sleep, and energy. Actually, I can relate to this. I have a pretty big stack of supplements that I take, and I don't really know for sure how they affect me. I generally know, but I haven't tracked it, any kind of scientific way. So they can't design a daily routine that fits their unpredictable entrepreneurial schedule, resulting in routines they abandon quickly. Actually, this sounds like me. Actually, this and this all sound like me. They fail to stick to stress-reducing habits because they lack accountability and reminders tailored to their work patterns. That also sounds like me. Boy, it's like it's been watching me. They feel unsure about supplement interactions or contradictions with their lifestyle. They struggle to measure whether the natural stress management are actually working, leaving them unmotivated to continue. They get overwhelmed trying to integrate calming practices. Let's go with, I like this one. This one appeals to me. So for you, you pick the one that appeals to you, that you like the best. And then we say continue. And then it says, how do you feel we can help them with this problem? Okay, so that's the problem that we just picked. So it's asking, do you have any ideas of how we could help them with that? So you could type in, like an app to help them track habits, or you could type in some training on, the best ways to create a schedule. So you could brainstorm out here with ideas if you have them. If you don't, you say, I'm not sure, help me decide. And what type of project should we build? Okay. Now, the cool thing here is that the AI that you're about to see can build all of these things. You can build a web app, a website, a sales funnel or landing page, an online shop, or something else. Okay. Now, this is I can tell it's kind of going in the direction that an app would make total sense. But you could build any of these things. So you could walk through the quiz and create a whole website to launch your business, or a sales funnel. If maybe you're going through the quiz with a business you already have and you just want a new way to sell. Or let's say you're wanting to start an online shop and you're looking for ideas about what kind of products to put in your shop. You do all of these things. So I'm going to say an app because I think that fits the problem we've selected the best. Okay. Or you can say other, and then just you'll be able to describe what that is. Any other relevant information. So this would be anything, any skills that you have, any knowledge you have, any direction you want to give it. Maybe you want to tell it you want it to use certain colors, a different color scheme, or any data at all that you want to give it. I'm going to leave it just flying blind. I'm going to leave this completely blank and just say continue. But you can fill it in if you have answers to that question, but you do not have to. Okay, now it's giving me some business ideas. We have Calm Track. So we have a wellness planner, a supplement impact logger. We have community-driven supplement reviews. So if you can get multiple people using your platform, it shares data about supplements. Zenlog, a smart journal and supplement analytics. Well, this is cool. So I kind of like either the first one, or I'm going to go with Zenlog. So I like that. Okay. And if you don't like what it gives you, you can either go back and adjust your answers, or you can regenerate them by hitting this button here. And then we're going to say, generate my plan. And so it is actually doing a bunch of work to analyze all of your answers and helping you answer the questions that you didn't know the answer to. And here we go. So we are ready to get going. And all we have to do, so we're going to enter an email address in here. Let me just, I'm going to do, let's go live testing quiz. And I just need to give an answer here. Okay, we say claim my project. Okay, now we need to create your account. That's the final step, is to create your account so that you can launch and build your business. And here's some data about the business that you're about to build with the features, some interesting information. And you can also look at, this is your build instructions, also known as your prompt. Okay, so what I'm going to do, since I already have an account with Buildy, so we are using Buildy AI for this, and since I have an account, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy and paste this. So if you have an account, you do not need to create a new one. We can come here, copy that, and if you do not yet have an account, then you come here and you answer these steps, and you go through the account creation process. And it will start to build your app as soon as you're done with that. But for this, I'm going to go ahead and go straight in because I do have an account. There we go. So I am now logged in. So I'm going to paste my prompt. Again, you would just copy and paste your prompt into an existing Buildy account if you've got one. And if you do not, then you go through the rest of the creation process here. And then we say go. And now Buildy is creating this for you. So the entire business is being created. So it comes up with all the logic, all the stuff you need, all the copywriting, all the persuasion and salesmanship. It has extensive knowledge about human psychology and human behavior, and it is going to architect for you an amazing business. And it's going to just do this while you kick up your feet and wait. So it's busy doing some research and thinking, and it's going to complete that. The process generally takes about 3 to 4 minutes. Sometimes it can go a little bit longer than that, depending on how complex the app is that you're building. But in as little as about 3 minutes, your business is done. And so we can see here as it's going, if you want to see a little bit of insight into what it's saying here. Now, I know those watching on vertical screen probably won't be able to see this very much, but it's going through and it is explaining what it's building. So I'm going to build Zenlog for you. Okay, and it's walking through. Now notice, it is not bombarding you with a bunch of tech stuff. You don't need to know anything about technology. You can literally, if you can barely use email, you can build a business with this tool. So you do not need to know any tech. You're not going to be asked, crazy technical questions. You just follow the directions and out pops your business. Now I happen to have it in developer mode. You can put it in developer mode and it will show you technical stuff if you are technical and you want to know it. But if you don't, you just leave it on the default setting and it's going to tell you just in non-technical terms exactly what it's doing. And you're not going to be required to know anything about technology to make it work. And again, you can always go under the Manage tab and turn on developer mode if you are technical and you would like to see your code or you would like to be able to speak a little bit more technically with the agent. So I'm going to leave it off for the rest of this demo. And once it finishes building, it's going to give me a preview here in the central window. So we can see here, as soon as it's done, here, I'll come on screen while we're waiting. And so we just built this and we are taking steps for the next couple of days. We're going to be watching how people use it and how it comes out and improving it. So there are some little spots I would like to improve and tweak and adjust, and based upon you going through it, you'll be able to help us do that. And so the place you would go to use this tool, here, I'll just tell you here on the live. So note for editor. So for our editor who edits this later, leave this piece out. But for the live audience, it's really easy. You just go to buildy.ai/quiz. And in fact, let me see if I can pop that into chat for you all. While we wait for Buildy to finish the build, I'll put it into chat. Send it out on YouTube, and let me send it out on X. Put it in there. And then I notice X is such a weird place. Nobody chats on X. Everybody's so quiet there. YouTube is very full of chat, and you guys are great. But X is a very silent place when you go live. Okay, cool. So we pop that out there. So save that link. Don't go anywhere because we have a lot more training. I'm going to show you how this came out, and we'll talk a little bit more about how the app works. So don't go anywhere. Just save that link, and you can go back to it once this broadcast is over. All right. And then let me see. I know on my phone chat is moving really, really slow, but let me see if I can get to some questions while we wait for it to build. Where can I find the link? That's buildy.ai. That's buildy.ai/quiz, which is the link I popped into the chat. And here, let me go into YouTube Studio and pin that so that will stay pinned in there, and it will stay pinned in here. Okay, awesome. And it is so weird to be streaming on horizontal and vertical at once today. So it's a whole new experience for me. But there you go. And then if you already have a Buildy account, like I said, you can copy and paste the prompt like I showed you on the screen. If you don't yet have one, you just create your account right there as part of that flow. Okay. And then Perk Stuff says, good business idea. I agree. It was pretty good, right? So, even though it was AI powered that, came up with that idea, coaching me through. So imagine if I chose one of the other ones. If I kind of had an idea, even a rough idea of what I wanted my app to be or who my niche market was, it would have done an even better job coming up with some really good ideas. Cool. Let's see. Villa Farm says, how does this compare to Lovable? Well, this tool is designed for non-technical people. And if you go read the reviews of Lovable advertises to non-technical entrepreneurs, but it's not really a tool that is suited for them. You'll find that you're going to be bombarded with technical terminology. They're going to ask you questions you don't know how to answer. And setting up hosting is confusing. The way they do the whole thing is just not great for non-technical entrepreneurs. So if you're someone who knows coding, a little bit about coding, you're very comfortable with technology, then I would say you could use Lovable. But if you're someone who doesn't know anything about that, you don't want to hassle with any of that stuff, you don't want to be confused by questions it's going to ask you or things it's going to say, then I would recommend you use Buildy. The other thing that is great about Buildy is that it actually has my brain built into it. So you'll find, especially there's some features rolling out over this coming week where you will be able to use me as a consultant. So if you want to talk about business ideas, if you want to ask it to do research for you, if you want to guide it to use the perfect persuasion or sales or marketing strategies on your business, it will be your partner by your side. It'd be like having me sitting next to you. I've been doing this for 25 plus years. I've generated over $100 million in revenue across my businesses. And it's like having me sitting next to you, guiding you through the process. It'd be like having me write your copy. So I could sit down and help you write the pages and the sales material, help architect the way the app is designed, all of those things. And that is something that Lovable certainly does not have. But that would be my guidance. And there are lots of AI coding tools out there. And if you are technical, if you know how to code, then Buildy's probably not the right tool for you. Like, I'm technical. I still love it because it's just so easy and it's so fast. But if you're looking for a technical solution, then yeah, it might be, the best answer might be elsewhere. And we did get an app. Let's take a look at it. I haven't even looked at it yet. So let's pull it up and see what we got. So we got Zenlog. Okay, and it looks like it's going to take me through an onboarding process, which is really interesting because I didn't ask it to do that, but it's actually created an onboarding process. So it's telling me how it works, how it all happens. It asks, okay, ready to start. That's pretty cool. And by the way, the images that you see are not images that are from like stock free images. They're newly created, custom made for you. No one else has them. They are not stock images, which is what many other places will do for you. These are custom made for you. Okay. So I like that it had an onboarding thing. So now it's built a whole dashboard where we can track. Let's see. Let's go back to begin check-in. So you log your stress level. So how stressed do you feel? I'll say a 7. What's your mood today? I'll say I'm a little tired. I feel like I'm getting over a cold. So how well did you sleep? I'd say a 4. What's your energy level? Also, well, maybe I'll say meh, a 5. Any other notes about today? And we complete our check-in. Okay. And then we can come here and let's look at our supplements. So we can log and track which supplements we're taking. And then we can get unique insights. So these insights, by the way, when you build apps on Buildy, they're powered by AI. So I actually can get AI insights to have it analyze. So what it would actually do if I click that, which I'll demonstrate that in a moment, but when you click that button, it's going to use AI. So I now have an AI-powered app. I don't need to know anything about technology or nothing else. AI is baked into my tool that Buildy just made for me. And now I can either give that tool away or sell access to it, and it's powered by AI. So now when I click that, it's going to analyze all of my past results, right? So let's pretend I've been using the app. I've been putting in my daily routine. I've been putting in what supplements I'm taking, when I take them, how much I take. And then after, say, a month of data, you hit the Analyze with AI button, and AI is going to go through, find patterns, and give you recommendations. It's going to tell you what the supplement's effects are, what supplements help calm you down, what supplements make you anxious, which ones help you sleep. And all of it will be powered by AI. So I'm going to try it. Let's see actually what it does. It's got very limited data, so I don't know how good the report will be, but let's give it a shot. So it's now generating an AI-powered insights for me. Okay, so how do we see the insights? Let's see. Oh, maybe it just refreshes this. Or maybe it's on the home page. Let's see. Okay, view insights. Okay, it just refreshes this. So AI does the analysis, and then it gives my recommendations here on this page. And I would say, as I was answering that quiz, it felt like it was speaking to me, right? Many of the issues are things that I personally would want to improve and fix and track. And I'm going to use this. Actually, this app that I just made, I'm going to personally use it myself, okay? I've got 1 million businesses, so I'm not going to start yet another business. So if this is an exciting business that you would like to start, go into buildy.ai and build it. Because this I'm just going to use for me personally, but that's pretty cool. And again, use Buildy AI for this, and you can get the quiz that you just saw me go through and have your business built for you by going to buildy.ai/quiz. That's buildy.ai/quiz. And then you'll also see, I'll drop in the link in the description and comments down below. But what kind of business are you thinking about building? Let me know in the chat. Drop down in the comments and in the chat and let me know, what kind of business are you thinking about building? And by the way, maybe you would like to see a little bit more about what I would do with this app if I wanted to launch it. So if I actually was going to launch this app, how would I do that? How would I get customers to it? If that's something that's interesting to you, drop in the comments and let me know. If you would like some follow-up training on, once I built it, how would I launch it and start to get customers? Again, drop those comments down below and let me know. And finally, this quiz is free. You can build your first app for free. You can go check everything out by going to buildy.ai/quiz. Again, I'll see you over there. And by the way, once you have started building your business, we have an entire community to support you. So go build your site and then join us in our School community. I'll drop a link to that also down there, so you can join us over on School. There's a lot of people there to help you get through building your app, get it fully launched, and then even to start getting people showing up and becoming customers. And on that note, we'll see you next time. Bye for now. So audience, I'm not going anywhere. I'm still here. That was just the end of that video. We're going to record that and release it as a video training. And yeah, so I see some great questions coming in. So we're going to do a little bit of Q&A. We're going to do some on-topic Q&A about that quiz or any questions related to this. Because don't forget, I have a second training segment I'm going to be doing in just a moment where we're going to do research. We're going to use deep research to launch a business instead of using that quiz. So I will show you that next. And then I wish I had my commercials queued up. That's what Nick always handles that for me. Let me see if I have my commercials anywhere. Let's see. Documents. Let's see. No, not there. Let's see here. Not there. Nah. Okay. Well, I can't find my commercials. But that being said, I'm going to take a super quick break. So I'm going to take a very short break, and I'm going to be back in about 1 minute with all of your questions and the next round of training. So that is the agenda. And with that, let's see here. I'll kick off a YouTube ad break, and then we'll be right back in just a minute. Okay, so YouTube is doing its thing. Twitter is still here, and some of you are here still, but I'm going to take just a moment to get a sip of coffee, and then I'll be answering all your questions. So this is my break officially for the live show. So, and anybody here watching on Vertical? Let's see. I don't know if we have had much of an audience on Vertical. I do see some chat over there. I wonder if that chat is showing up in StreamYard. Let's see. So I see Frank is on Vertical. Hey, Frank. Let's see if that's showing up in StreamYard. It does look like it is. Okay. So this is really interesting. So I use a platform called StreamYard to do my streaming. And until very recently, you couldn't stream on vertical and horizontal at the same time. And StreamYard just added that feature in. So this is the first time we're using it. And yeah, it's pretty interesting to see how that's going to work out with with vertical streaming. I know seeing the screen, like when I'm doing demos and stuff, it's like really tiny. And I'm sure StreamYard's going to be improving it and making it better as we go. Just some behind the scenes info there. And I don't know how healthy it is to pound coffee while I'm starting to come down with COVID, but I guess we'll find out. I hit the vitamin C and D and zinc. I'm even going to hit some extra creatine today and some glycine tonight to hopefully help my body fight this off. But I can feel it. It's there's a battle raging. It's COVID versus my immune system right now. So with that, we'll go to your questions. And let's see here. Some ideas. Prayer bundles with hand-poured candles. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, you can do a shop or a store with this. Homeopathic health and wellness. That's from maybe wasn't me. love your username. My voucher says, how would we get customers and monetize the app? So in my next training, I'm going to talk a little bit more in depth about that. But again, it is something that we can do more training on. I have seen quite a few people asking for this, so stay tuned for that. Another good idea, a lottery analysis app. That's cool. Here's some questions from Villa Farm. Where will you host the app? Where do you store the data? Fantastic questions and a perfect cue up for me. We do. It's all built in. So that is part of what I was talking about, why it's so powerful for non-technical users. The database is hosted by us. The website is hosted by us. The entire app, all of the technology, everything you need is hosted by us. And you literally, here, I'll show you. You literally just come in here and hit that publish button. So you see that button right there? We would hit publish and then boom. Now, by the way, if you ever want to see your database, you can come in here under the Manage tab, and the database is available, right? So whether we're looking at our supplement log with supplements, check-in, and I'm not going to click the user tab, but you get the idea, okay? All that data is available directly through the dashboard. You'll be able to export your data. You can go in and edit your data, and it's stored in a high-performance database that we manage and maintain for you, and we back it up for you every single night. So we take care of all that stuff, so you don't even have to think about it. Let's see, this is Chris Trepow, I think. Is there a limit on how many times we can use the quiz? No, you can reuse it. Oh, hey, so maybe it wasn't me, as Elizabeth from our very active in our school community. Thank you for that too, Elizabeth. I greatly appreciate it. Elizabeth, Frank, and let's see, I don't know if some of our other regulars are here today or not, but thanks so much for everything you do in that group. You guys have been amazing. I know Boria, if you're here, and then I'm forgetting some people who also have been so helpful in our school group, which I should share that link, by the way. Let me do that super quick. Give me one moment. I'm going to share that in the chat if anybody has not been part of it yet. Let me just get a invite link. It's a crazy long link, but I'm going to pop it in there anyway. We'll paste it in here. There we go. So if you're not part of the school community, I just put a link to it. And let me push this out over on X as well, which X, again, is very quiet out there. Let's push paste, send that in. Yeah, X, there's like, it always shows lots of viewers and everybody just doesn't chat. I don't get it. So chat in X. If you're watching me in X, say hello. But there we go. So I just popped that link out everywhere. And you can see this. Here's the community here, very active, and we've made ourselves a top 1% school community. So we've been awarded. That's why I got that nice little star next to my name there. Very active group, loaded with very helpful people. As you can see here, we got Frank and Boria, Elizabeth, Donna, Sean, and so many others that are just awesome, helping out in the group, helping people answer questions, and being a great inspiration in there. So thanks to all of you who have been active in there. And it looks like I have some people that are applying. Someone on my team or myself will approve that in a bit. But there you go. Okay, well, let's do the final bit of questions here. John has messaged me on school, but I haven't replied. So John, I literally have thousands of messages in school, so I don't reply to most of them. I try my best, but yeah, I'd say if you need support, the best bet for that would be help@buildy.ai. That's help@buildy.ai, and I'll try to go in and find you. I'll try to remember this after I get off the air. But yeah, I literally have thousands of messages and I can't respond to them all. Let's see. A good question from John. So John wants to know, what's the difference between Buildy and Pushbutton AI? So Pushbutton AI is a platform that is specifically built on WordPress, and it makes amazing courses. So if you want to build a business that is like a course or a training, it builds amazing stuff. Buildy can build courses and it can build membership websites and things like that. But when it comes to the content of the course itself, nothing beats Pushbutton AI. So, and when Pushbutton launches your business, it's launched on the WordPress platform. So if you're a WordPress fan, then Pushbutton AI would be the move. If you're really focused on having a very comprehensive and high quality course, Pushbutton's your answer there. If you just want an all-in-one Swiss Army knife tool that will build any kind of business, a shop, a sales funnel, an app, whatever you want, then Buildy would be the answer. So Technically, I use both. They actually are very complementary to each other. Cool. Some advice here. Take some beta glucan. I don't have that. I'll have to look that up. I have not taken beta glucan before. Old time saying, when your body can't fight it, beta glucan. Okay. Awesome. Well, Brooke just joined the school group. Thank you for that, Brooke. So here, you know what? Let me go see if I can find you. I'll approve you real fast. Let's see. Where is Brooke? There you are. Approve. And then I think Mary, I think you must be here. So I see Mary here. I'll approve Mary. I see Charisse. I'll approve you. And I see Gillian. Approved. Okay. So if you applied, you should be approved. Awesome. Then Jewel says you should make a clone. I kind of did. I am in the process of cloning myself inside Buildy. And there's not a lot I can announce. I'm telling you very generic stuff right at the moment, and that's intentional. But we are taking all of my marketing knowledge, and like my area of specialty. I've done just about every aspect of a digital business, from the tech stuff all the way to sales, but human behavior, how to get people to take the actions on your sites, and in your marketing, copywriting, market research, structuring an offer, like all of these kinds of things that you really need to be good at to have a really successful business. We are baking my knowledge into Buildy, and we're going to have a big announcement about this coming up, but it is coming. So, and already, basically there's two things happening. One is some of the important basics of marketing and sales are being put in Buildy everywhere. So anytime anyone uses Buildy, it's going to have a lot of the basics already just baked right into it. And then if you want to go advanced and actually have like a full consult it would be like having me sitting by your side, doing a consult with you, helping you plan and build your apps or pages or funnels. And then the cool thing is once you've planned it out with me, in the consultant mode, you can just hit a button and deploy all of the advice to your business. You just kick back your feet and let AI do it all. So that is coming. That is very soon. Okay. Awesome. So final question here. How many sites can you build for free? Well, if you want to build a site and put your own custom domain on it, you'll need to upgrade. So full disclosure, if you want, billswebsite.com, if you want a domain that belongs to you and is on your site, you'll have to upgrade. We have plans that start at $24 a month. The free plan, you can build them, but they're not on your custom domain. And you are limited to how much building you can do per day and per month. So if you want to take the leash off and build every day and all throughout the month, and you want to host your own, put your own domain on it, then you're going to want to upgrade to at least to our starter plan. And when you sign up, it'll show you all the details. You can see all the plans, what's included, and you can decide as you go through that funnel if you want to go free or if you want to take a trial and try out one of the paid plans. You'll be able to do that too. Okay. And then Brooke says, tell me about the benefits of joining the group. Well, so Builders, our school group, is all about using Buildy to come up with ideas, to launch, to build, to add features, to maybe do some advanced things. There are lots of really advanced and amazing things that you can build with Buildy. And kind of the group is the place to brainstorm that idea, to get help from your peers, and my team. So my team and I are trolling through there as well. It's not a place for support. So if you want like technical support or customer service, you don't do that in the group. That goes to our support desk. That'd be help@buildy.ai. But otherwise, advice, strategy, You want to find out, hey, can Buildy do this? Can Buildy do that? All those kinds of questions would be awesome inside the school group. And then we're also doing challenges and trainings, and I'm going to start doing, both me and the team are going to start doing live build-a-thons where we'll just show up live on camera and build stuff with you. So if you want to build something, we could build it for you while you're there. And that's all coming inside the school group as well. Okay, enough about that. Let's move on, and we're going to cover the next bit of training. So let's get that done. This one is a lot of training where I'm going to be reading from our teleprompter to help guide me through. And there's also some live demos that I am going to do during that process. So let me just get prepared for that. Okay. One moment as I prepare. Okay, I am set, and we're going to get going. So, so by the way, as I power through this training, I'm not ignoring the chat or your questions. I'll be coming back to open questions with everyone, and we'll take anything, any help you need, any ideas, any comments. I'll grab it all as soon as I get through all of the training, so I can get it recorded in one shot to make it easy for my editor, because we will be editing this up and using it elsewhere. Okay, now let me get the right screens loaded up. And X is still quiet, so 4,142 views, and everyone is silent over there. Weird. Okay. So let's get started. Stop. Teleprompter's going out of control. Here we go. You've probably searched how to start a business with AI at some point, and you've been bombarded with videos that list 50 different random tools and like 1,001 steps that it takes to make them work, copy and paste, and this tool to that tool, and then this tool and the other tool. And well, this is not that video. In this video, AI is going to do almost all of the heavy lifting for you. You'll see as we go. And here's what's about to happen. AI is going to go out and find real problems in a real niche. And this is powerful because it's by helping people with important problems is how we make lots and lots and lots of money. And the cool thing here is AI will design and build you a tiny little itty bitty app that fixes just one piece of one problem, and that app becomes the starting place of a real business for you. Even if you're a complete beginner and you don't know anything about how all this stuff works, follow what we're about to say and you'll walk away with a business launched and ready to go. And even if you have no idea how to code, you're terrified of the techie stuff, it drives you crazy, by the end of this video, you will see a clear and simple path on how to start a business with AI from scratch. Not someday, starting today. And when you stick around until the very end, I will give you a free downloadable playbook and an app that we built for you that will help you find your own. It's called an atomic problem, is what you're about to learn about. There's a very specific thing. This app will find the problems for you. You'll get the atomic problem that you can then solve with AI and build your business in whichever niche you choose. Okay, first, you're going to need, let's do a retake here. So editor, we're going to reshoot that. First, you're going to need to understand what kind of problem that AI should be looking for. We're going to set AI loose to go find these problems for you and hand it to you on a silver platter. Now, most new entrepreneurs, what I find is that they dive in, they're very excited, and they're ready to go conquer the world. And then when I coach them and talk to them and chat, and they're like, if I'm going to start an AI business, I'm going to start a huge world-changing thing. I'm going to use AI to do X and Y, and then it's going to do this, and it's going to be all automated. And they get very enthusiastic on tackling a huge, big, complicated problem when they should be doing the opposite. Literally, the exact opposite is true. The easiest way to start a successful business is with what we call an atomic problem. Now, an atomic problem is a very specific, kind of a nagging, annoying problem that quietly drives people nuts. And they're everywhere. And as you're thinking about this, you might struggle to think about them. But as we go through this video, you'll find that they start popping to mind, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. These are problems that exist everywhere, in every niche, and in every type of person all over the planet. And when you find them and you identify them, they are a great place to start and explode a new business. Now, one of the things that's interesting is that some of these problems are almost hidden because people accept them as that's just how it is. Oh, spreadsheets are complicated, as an example of one, right? And then I've seen people solve that problem to make it easy to use spreadsheets and start multi-million-dollar businesses over something that simple. And, here, note for editor, we'll clean this up a little bit. Okay, here we go again. A few quick examples of this. So an example of what might be a big problem is somebody in the finance niche. You might think, well, my personal finances are a mess. Okay, that'd be an example of a large general problem. But if we want to break this down and dig in and find the atomic problem, that would be something like, quote, I never know how much guilt-free spending I actually have left this week. Right? So now you've gone from general problems with finances to one very specific laser-focused problem, which is I'd like to spend money on fun stuff, going out to dinner or maybe a movie or maybe whatever, but I feel guilty because I don't really know how much money I have to spend on those things, right? That's an example of an atomic problem. Now, another example of a big problem that we could break down is that our apartment is always messy and we fight about it, right? That might be an example of one. If you were to break this down to the lowest level and get the atomic problem, it's that no one remembers who cleaned what last in the apartment, and no one knows what chores are actually due this week, right? That's an example of breaking it down into a more detailed and specific atomic problem. Now, one final example of a big problem is, I'm bad at managing my business, as a creator, so maybe like people that make YouTube videos or they have TikTok followings and they're a creator and they don't really know how to manage their business. They're great at making content, but they suck at business. And this is actually a pretty common one. So if we're going to break that down into an atomic problem, it might be something like, quote, I never know which brands that I still need to reply to or to invoice and get paid, right? So they have trouble tracking their brands that sponsor them and give them money, right? So do you see that pattern? It's taking a general problem and isolating it down to one single aspect. Often it's a little bit detailed and very specific, and that is the atomic problem. This can be hard to do just with plain old logic. It can be really frustrating trying to get stuck in the creative process, not being able to come up with these. And that's why I'm going to go through how you identify them, and then we're going to use AI to find them together. Now, an atomic problem has 4 traits. First, it's specific. You can describe it usually in one sentence. It's nagging and annoying. That's number 2. It shows up over and over. It's something that commonly happens to people, and it's recurring, not like a one-time, thing. It creates real frustration, right? And then third, it's emotionally loaded. Okay, so this is something that either it creates guilt, it creates stress, shame, anxiety, some kind of emotion, negative emotion is associated with this problem. And some of the simplest problems can have emotion. Like I made that example of Microsoft Excel. There are lots and lots of people that in their job need to use spreadsheets, and get incredibly frustrated trying to properly understand how to use, a spreadsheet. And again, several multi-million-dollar businesses have been built on that one specific atomic problem. Okay. Now, finally, the fourth piece is that usually you'll find that people kind of accept this problem as normal. Okay, just the way it is, right? They've kind of resigned to solving it. And this is a sign, and this is also what makes them so hard to spot, because there are things that everyone knows that that's just the way they are, and this is just the way it's done, and we just have to deal with it. And so it makes them kind of hidden and not in plain sight. And here's why these atomic problems are so powerful when it comes to launching a new business. And that's because the moment someone gets even a small visible improvement on one of these, they're disproportionately delighted, okay? Because they kind of thought this was unsolvable. It's a nagging, frustrating thing that they never thought of a solution. They didn't. And as soon as you get them and move them to being just a little bit more at power over that problem, they love you for it, okay? So they had filed the problem away as something that was just how it is. It's unsolvable. And now when you help them, you don't have to completely solve it. You just need to help them get better at it. They instantly trust the source that helped them, which is you and your business. And I'm going to show you how to do this as we continue with this video. And then they become way more likely to buy from that source. So instead of trying to fix someone's whole life, AI just needs to help you create a tiny little app that moves one stubborn little problem from, this sucks, to, oh, wow, that feels better now, right? So that's what we're trying to do, is find one isolated little problem. We're going to make one little itty bitty app that helps someone with that one specific thing to get them a little bit of improvement. And that is what cracks open an incredibly profitable business. That's the starting point. That's like the wedge, the tip of the spear that they might say. And that is the whole goal of what we're trying to do here together. So now the question becomes at this point, how does AI actually go out and find these problems for you? And we're going to break that down into two phases. So we're going to do two steps together, and I'll show you how to use some of the off-the-shelf AI tools like ChatGPT, for examples, what I will use today. But when you stick around to the end, don't forget, I'm going to give you an app that helps you do this even better. Okay, so we're going to have an app that will help you isolate, find, and identify atomic problems so you can build highly profitable apps. Again, I'll give you all that info at the end, along with a playbook that you can use to build your own atomic problem app. Okay, so normal AI, just normal, regular old ChatGPT, or Google Gemini, or whatever tool you're using, that can help you find the big problems, okay? So you can go to ChatGPT and say, hey, I'm helping parents, and I'm looking for problems that they have. It's pretty good at just finding those, okay? But if you really want to find an atomic problem, you need to do two phases. Phase one is generic ChatGPT or Gemini. Phase two is we're going to use deep research together, and AI will help you uncover these atomic problems that are hiding inside the big general problem. It's like a multi-layered onion, right? So you might have a big problem with many layers and many things inside, and we're going to use deep research to peel that back and find the atomic problem hiding within. Okay, now, what I will tell you here is a lot of people get stuck at the very, very beginning picking a niche market. Now, I have training on my channel on YouTube that you can go through. It's like 15 minutes, and it will help you pick a niche that you can be confident of. But really, this is simple. You just need to decide anything, really anything. Think through your life. If you're stuck and you don't know what niche to pick here, we need to start from something. So in your life, who are like the kinds of people around you? Do you know nursing students around you who maybe you'd like to help? Do you know people that are in business that maybe you'd like to help? Do you know people in a certain profession or a certain hobby or a certain type of people, maybe mothers or grandmothers or, men having health issues or whatever it might be. Those are all niches. So examine your life and the things, the people and things and topics that you want to help someone with, and just pick one, any one of them. You could pick, like you can draw it out of a hat. But if you really want more training on how to do it, again, I'll link to a video. I'll put it in the description down below that will help you pick your niche. Okay. But from this point, we're going to assume you know at least your general idea of who you want to help with your business. Okay. And again, if you're brand new, this is often the first sticking point. Okay. And it's like, I want to start a great business with AI, but I don't know which niche to pick or what problem to solve. And this is just simple. Just pick one. Don't overthink it. Just pick any group that you know about, any topic, any hobby. You know that there's some kind of pain or problem or thing that you can help them with. Could be anything. This could be an example like content creators. It could be fitness coaches. It could be college students, busy parents, people who have pets. Anything you have some understanding of, even just a little bit, and you would like to help with, that is the makings of a powerful, profitable business. Now, for the example that we're going to do today, we're going to be digging in and focusing on parents who are stressed about finances. Okay, so that is going to be who I'm going to dig in for in our example today. And this, again, could be any topic, but that's our demo for today. Okay, and we're going to use regular old ChatGPT as our first phase of getting started. Okay. So you don't have to sit there staring at a blank page trying to brainstorm. I'll show you the prompt that I'm going to use. It's very simple. And we'll get started here with our ChatGPT research. So let me show you exactly how this works. We're going to go with that. It's a common niche, again, busy parents who feel like money just kind of disappears. I remember when our kids were very little, very young, sometimes it felt like, you know, by the time you buy the diapers and all the stuff, it's like, where did all that money go? So we're going to focus in, and that's who we're helping. Okay. And again, I'm going to use ChatGPT. Let me get my prompt here handy. And this one is quite simple. It is list the biggest recurring problems that busy parents have with their personal finances. And here, I'll show this on screen. Let me see if I can make it really big. And I'll bring it around over here. So this is the prompt I'm using. I'm going to share this in the playbook. So we're going to give you a downloadable playbook that you can get this prompt in, but that's what we're using. So I'm going to copy it here, and then give me a moment while I put it in the right place. And we're just going to good regular old ChatGPT, and we're going to hit submit. Okay. And let me share my screen back again. Okay. So I popped it in, and it's giving me a bunch of big generic general problems. Okay. We got a bunch of these. Okay. So we could literally pick any of these. So this is step one, finding the general problem we're going to grab and start peeling back the layers, looking for the atomic problem. And so that's what we're going to pick. Okay. So, and you can see things like, you know, I feel like my money just disappears. I'm always worried I forget to pay a bill. I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I don't know how much I can spend without missing rent or savings, or I feel guilty every time I buy something for myself. These are all examples of big problems. These are not atomic problems. And for this demo that we're doing right now, we're going to grab the I don't know how much I can spend without messing up rent or savings. So we're going to take this one. Okay. And so we're going to take this, and then we're going to be moving over to deep research. And we're going to be zooming in on this one really big problem. Okay, and then note for editor, give me a moment here while I get everything set how I need it. One moment here, I have. Paste this prompt in here. Okay, and so Okay, I'll show you it on screen as well. Let me pull it around over here. So I've copied it. And so what I've done is I have taken the problem we want to solve. I have copied it, and we're going to paste it in as a deep research query. And again, I'll give you these prompts. I'm also going to give you an app that will do this for you. Again, stick around to the end, and I'll give you all that stuff. All right, so let me get my screen straight again and come back and get that submitted. Boom. Okay, so now one of the things that you'll notice when you do I'm not sharing my screen. One of the things that you'll notice when you do deep research is it will often follow up with questions. And if you know the answers to the questions, you can answer them, okay? Now with ChatGPT, again, so you can see here, I've added deep research here. And that's why you see research right there at the bottom, okay? So we can say things like, we'll answer these. We can say one. I'll say USA, okay? And then two, let's say no. Let's say three. I'm going to say no. And then we're going to submit. And then it's going to do its thing. Now, because we're doing deep research, this process takes quite some time, okay? It can take up to 20 minutes with ChatGPT, okay? Now, deep research on the other platforms, times vary, but it can take a while. We'll see what it's going to do, okay? So while this runs, I'm going to talk a little bit more about what we're going to be doing from here, okay? And let me get my teleprompter going here. And I'll come on here, just getting everything set. And getting my notes prepared. So stand by, everyone. And we're going to get through this here. And I see deep research still going. It's funny watching it do its research. As you can see, it's reading Reddit, right? It went out to reddit.com, and it's actually digging into real people talking online. So you can tell it's searching a bunch of different forums and places people are having discussions about their problems on the internet. So it's doing a lot of research on Reddit, seems like. So we'll let it continue doing its thing. And okay, so we put that prompt in, and we're going to let it go. And I'll come back and show you an example of what we'll do from here. And waiting still for my notes to catch up. And I'm being distracted by the research it's doing, okay? Here we go. Okay, so now at this point, deep research is going out on the web and it's doing all the hard work for us. When it's done, it's going to give me back a list of atomic problems. And, we might get problems like every month I pay all the bills and I have no idea what's left to spend for fun, right? That might be an example of one. You might see, I'm scared to check my bank account, and we're going to get these very specific, usually one sentence problems, and we're going to pick one of them. So we start with one general, and then we get all of the example atomic problems that deep research is going to give us, and we pick one of those, okay? Now, so for the purposes of today's demo, we're going to pick a problem that's going to be like, after rent, bills, and savings, I have no idea how much guilt-free money I have left to spend this week. That is an example of an atomic problem. So it's a specific, nagging, emotional, and most people that are going through it have kind of just accepted that that's just how it is. And they feel a little bit guilty, a little bit frustrated. And now we're going to turn that into a single tiny little app. But before we do, a quick question for you. What is an example of this that you have seen in your life? There are people around you, hobbies, topics, general types of people you work with. What is a nagging problem that you've seen somewhere in your life or a business perhaps that's going through it, or in any sphere. But what's an example of one that you might be able to think of that you could personally solve once you see the rest of this video, right? The rest of the video, I'm going to show you how you solve it. But if you can think of one, drop that into the comments below. I'd love to see examples if this is now kind of helping to open your mind up to spotting these, because once you get how these work, you can see them all over in life. And you're like, oh, there's a problem I can solve. Oh, there's another one. Okay, so when you get good at it, and you've done this a couple of times with AI, it will start to come naturally to you. So again, let me know if you already have some ideas of atomic problems around in your world and in your environment. Drop it in the comments. And if there's enough response, by the way, if enough of you give me some examples, I'm going to take some of those examples and turn them into apps. So I will actually make the apps, and I'll do it in our future video. Maybe I'll even do it live with you coming up. So give me some examples of those atomic problems that might be on the top of your mind. Pop them into the comments, and then we'll come back and I'll show you examples of how to build apps to solve them. And don't worry, they're all yours. You can have the apps and you can build your stuff, okay? So now at this point, we're ready to move on. And most people think, okay, cool. I'm not a developer. I don't know how to build apps. I can't build software. I can't build tools. I can't even put up a website. And this is where AI is going to step in and save the day. We have tools like Buildy AI, which is my platform that lets you build anything. So you can go to buildy.ai to get access to it. And it's going to do most of the app building work for you. All right. You don't need to know any tech. You don't need to know anything about hosting, servers, AI, or nothing. You just talk to it in plain English. And in fact, the tool that we're going to give you in just a little bit, you could just copy and paste your way to launching a brand new business. You don't even need to type anything. All right. So at this point, we'll need to have our atomic problem figured out, okay? And so we're going to zero in on an example of one of those. And we want to kind of think about what is the tiny little win that we want our AI app to do, okay? So, and we have, what we'll do is we'll craft that into a prompt, okay? And we're going to make it really, really simple. It'll be something like, I want to create an app that helps people track how much discretionary money they have every week to spend on fun. That's it. And you're off to the races. And you can go to Buildy AI and just describe it, just like I just said, and it will build the solution that you can then either give away to get your first people subscribing and joining your platform, or signing up to your business, or you can instead charge for it, and you can charge a small fee, and this becomes the beginning of your business. Now, remember, we are not building a giant platform, with tons of features. This is a tiny, laser-focused app that gets rid of the feeling of that feeling of guilt. Am I spending my rent money to take the kids to the movies tonight? It eliminates that. So the parents know, oh, look at that. We've got, $97 available to spend on entertainment this week, and they can spend it guilt-free, worry-free, and they'll know exactly where they're at. So then we just go to Buildy AI, and the AI will build the whole thing for you. It sets up the whole structure for the entire app. And as an example, we'll do this. I'm going to pull it up in just a moment, and we'll build one together, okay? And on top of that, if you're a little bit worried about how do you use Buildy to make it do what you want, we're going to give you a tool that will write your prompts for you. So you just copy and paste, and it starts to build the whole business. And you just paste the atomic problem in, and Buildy will build everything for you. All right. So we're going to switch over, and we're going to go to buildy.ai, and I'm going to take a prompt, paste it in there, and you're going to see us build an entire app that will come to life. Okay. And so let me do that now. Let's go to Buildy. And note for editor, obviously you can clean this up, but let me get the app ready here. And we're going to go here, and we're going to take an example. And we're going to copy our problem that we found. I have an example problem that we're going to use for this demo. And 1 second. Okay, so I'm going to paste in, and we're going to say, build a simple app that solves this single problem. Paste it in there. There's the problem. And we'll say the idea is to help parents find a guilt-free way to spend money on fun stuff without hurting the finances. Okay. And so I'm going to paste a couple. I prepared just a minute, a little thing here. And again, I'm going to show you how you can make these prompts in just a moment. So I'm going to type in, I'm going to paste in just a couple of features. Okay. So this is it. This is a whole prompt that we've typed. And all we have to do is hit submit, and it's going to build our business for us. Okay. So Buildy's now going to work. It's analyzing what I said. It's going to build an entire app based upon this atomic problem, and it's going to help me launch my brand new business. And so you can see it'll do its thing. This process can take anywhere from 3 to maybe as many as 5 minutes. I've even seen apps pop out of this thing in like 2 minutes flat, but that's pretty rare. And we can see actually it just started doing some work as I shifted away from it. But you can see in the side there that it is talking about the features that it's going to build, the look and feel that it's going to make, and it's gone to work. It's now making that for us. Okay, and then what we'll see is once it finishes, the preview of our app is going to appear over here. And once we've got the app exactly how we want it, all we got to do is hit the publish button, and it's live to the world, and we've launched our business. Pretty cool. Now, this is a fun money calculator is what we're doing. That's the idea. The idea is that it's going to help people with their monthly income, monthly expenses, and then be able to break down their bills. They can have a savings goal for the month, and then it calculates out how much money each week they have to spend on fun. And so I think this would be great for young parents with young kids, and that's going to be the target that we're going for. Okay, so as soon as it finishes building, I will show you the app that it is going to create. But do you see now, instead of creating a vague app that solves some big, gigantic problem, how we zeroed in here, okay? And we focused in on that kind of guilty feeling of like, oh, I probably shouldn't buy this, or I probably shouldn't do this tonight, or we probably shouldn't go out to eat. And many of you maybe have experienced that feeling, right? That's an example of an emotionally charged problem. And the emotion might be guilt or anxiety or fear or, frustration, maybe even a little bit of anger that, man, I should have more money, right? But so how do we help these young parents shift to feeling like they're at power over this, okay? So that they can know, well, how much guilt-free money do I have left to spend this week? And that's what the app solves. And this becomes the wedge that cracks open a whole business for us, okay? The key thing is we've used AI to do all the work. So you can see here, the app is already ready. So let's take a look. Spend without the guilt, okay? After rent, bills, and savings, how much do you actually spend on fun stuff? Let's find out your guilt-free spending money for the week. Now, as an example, this image, Buildy just made this for us. This is not a stock image or pulled from some library or template somewhere. It just made this for us for this app. And we've got a little app here that will take someone through calculating their fun money. So I'm just gonna put some numbers in here. Let's just put that in. Okay, monthly savings goal. I don't know. I'm just gonna throw numbers in here because I don't have time to fill it out completely. Okay. And so we would need to sit here and add the bills. So you have to add more bills. So. And we would add our other bills, utilities, add that all up. and then that would calculate and help us with our fund money. Okay. Now, obviously, I don't have 701 per week because I haven't finished filling this out. But you see how simple this is? And we can add features to this too. Like we could have a thing where maybe they hit a button and it sends them an email to tell them how much they can spend this week. So, maybe like the dad can come in and fill this out and send it so that the wife can see how much they can spend, or vice versa, to do some fun stuff. But there we go. It's a very basic finance app for young parents. And we've let AI do the work for us. It helped us find the problems. It helped us build the first version of the app, and it helped us launch it. So now I could, with just one click, come up here and click publish, and my new business could be launched to the world. A question for you, by the way. Would you like a part 2 to this? So I have a feeling that a lot of you are going to want a part 2. So comment in the comments below and let me know. Would you like to see exactly how I'd get the first 100 users and maybe the first $1,000 from this tiny little app that we just built? So let me know if that's a yes. If you'd love to see training on that, drop a comment below and then let me know so I know it's worth doing. Okay, so we can prepare some training. I can do it live or in a future video and launch it to show you part 2 of how do we actually get users coming in and money coming through the door. I'll show you exactly what I would do to launch this business, okay? And so now we have our tiny little atomic problem app that is built. It's built with AI, so we didn't need to know anything about technology. You just followed the instructions from this video. And by the way, I have an entire playbook that walks you through step by step all the details of the atomic problem method of how do you use these atomic problems to launch your business. So if you would like that, stick around. I'll tell you how to get that. Plus, we have an app that is going to help you identify and find your atomic problems. More on that in a moment, okay? So that's naturally what most people think about at this point, right? So I have empowered you to use Buildy.ai to go out and launch your business. And you're probably thinking, okay, but how do we actually take this and turn it into money? So let's talk about that briefly. And again, I'll do a much more comprehensive and detailed training if there's enough interest. So comment down below and let me know, okay? I want you to think of it this way. This tiny AI-powered app that you just built, it's not a product. It's not just a product. What it is it's a trust machine. AI helps you create something that solves one painful, very specific problem. It delights people who'd maybe given up on having a fix for this. And quietly, it earns you the right to sell them more stuff. Most people worry that like, oh, you've got to be a guru or be some sort of trained expert or have dozens of years of experience or be a master at something in order to start a business or create content or do training or do any of these kinds of things. And that's simply not true. All you need to do is help people move closer to the path of solving their problems and achieving the goals they want. You just need to help them to get a little closer. And often what you'll find is if you do that for free, it opens up the door where now you are the brand they trust, they respect, and they go to for help. So that's what we are building here is a trust engine. And that is what this atomic app, the atomic problem app is going to do. And there's a simple path to this, okay? The first part, we've chosen our niche. Then we used AI to brainstorm out big problems. Then we used deep research to dig in deeper and find those very specific atomic problems. And then the fourth and final step is we used AI to help people build a tiny little app, okay? So, I've helped you. I should re-say that. Hold on, let me take 2 for the editor. And then step 4, AI builds the tiny little app for them. And you're gonna use Buildy AI to take that atomic problem and turn it into a functioning app that is launched, and it'll take almost no effort from you. It'll just do all the hard stuff, okay? And now you can step in and you start to stage 5, which is actually getting users. There's a lot of simple ways to do this. I think people are often thinking they need complicated solutions. Many times it's very simple. You can go into communities online, whether it's Reddit, subreddits, whether it's Discord groups, Facebook groups, school groups, newsletters. You simply reveal your tool because it's free. You start out making it free or for a very low cost, one or the other. I go with free. And you launch that and you start getting users to the app. And that becomes your trust engine. And you have a simple tool that helps people for free. You're not in there pitching and shilling expensive solutions. Instead, you're just saying, hey, I found this free cool app, or I made this free cool app, and it helps people with this problem, okay? And then when people use it, you ask them for feedback and say, hey, did it help? And then everyone who touches the app and they feel some kind of relief, and they now recognize that you help them with them, that this tool helped me is what they will know. And that leads naturally to step 6, which is selling more solutions. And so once AI has helped you make this trust machine, you now can sell them more stuff. And you have many, many options here. You can sell your own products or services. You could sell more advanced apps for money. You can sell physical products. Or if you don't want to deal with customer support and products, you can become an affiliate and take all the users of your new free app who now have been through your trust engine and they trust what you say, and you can recommend and promote other companies' products, and you just get paid a commission. It's also known as affiliate marketing. So you now have many choices of where you want to go with how you're going to make money with this new app. You could offer a pro version. So you could have your free version and then create a much more powerful and advanced pro version that you can charge money for. If you're comfortable doing coaching or consulting, then you can totally help them with that. You know, it could be like, if you want to be someone who helps people with their finances, offer coaching and consulting for helping families with their finances. You can sell templates, systems, checklists. It's endless, the amount of things that you can sell them. The hardest part of business is attracting those first users, those first customers, so that people can know, like, respect, and trust you to then be willing to give you money. And again, if you don't want to deal with making your own product or supporting your own product, that's where affiliate marketing comes in, and it becomes really easy to just recommend other companies' stuff, and you get paid a handsome commission, okay? So again, AI helps us find the problem. Deep research help us find the atomic problem. Build the AI, built the app for us. And now we just go out and find people that have this problem, and we help them. And you let AI do all the heavy lifting, all the research, all the building, and you just focus on serving these people and helping them solve this one atomic problem. And this makes the path doable to just about anyone. If you're just starting out and you don't understand business, you don't understand AI, you don't like the tech stuff, this is the path that will bring you to success. Okay. So now, if you're still here, you're probably serious about figuring out how to start a business. And here's the game plan, step by step. Again, you pick your niche. Any niche will do. You use AI to chat with ChatGPT. You use deep research to find your atomic problem. And then you use Build the AI to launch it. That's it in a nutshell. And here, note for editor, I'm going to skip this. I'm going to skip all this. Okay. Here we go. All right. Stand by, everyone. We're getting to the next portion here. I'm skipping a whole chunk of this because I think it's going too long. And here we go. Now, before I wrap up, I promised you some freebies that are going to make this way easier to execute and get results. Okay. So now, to save you from having to go rewatch this a million times and try to get the transcripts and all this stuff, instead, I put together a downloadable Atomic Problems playbook for you. And inside that playbook, you're going to find a checklist for all the steps that we just went through. You'll find fill-in-the-blank prompts that you can paste into any normal AI chat. You're going to find our fill-in-the-blank prompts that you can use in deep research. You'll find examples of good or bad atomic problems so you can spot the good ones and avoid the bad ones. And then on top of that, we built you an app. So we have a bonus app that will be linked to inside the playbook that will actually do all of this for you. You just go log into the app, and it's a an atomic problem app for your atomic problem. You see, I build this, I use it, I'm doing it right here. I have created a solution to an atomic problem that you have, which is, how do I get started building a business with AI? And so I have solved it. And we have an app for you. Again, you just download our playbook. The link will be inside, and you can go get your atomic problem solver. So I'm going to use atomic problems to help you find other people's atomic problems, and then we're all going to make money together. Pretty cool, right? And so when you use this tool, you just type in a couple of quick questions, and then the app is going to help you generate the perfect atomic problem that fits the audience. So no staring at a blank page, being stuck, not being able to make decisions about what the atomic problem is. It'll just spit it out for you. So you can grab both the playbook and the atomic problem finder app using the link in the description or in the pinned comment below. What that's going to do is you're going to subscribe to our Ingeniosity newsletter. So it's a free newsletter. Every week we send out an issue that covers one money-making or business building or traffic strategy that will help you succeed as an entrepreneur. And as a free subscriber of Ingeniosity, we're going to give you the links to the playbook, to the app, and everything you need to deploy it. So again, just head to that link. Again, I'll put it in the description down below. And in the comments, drop by there, grab the Atomic Problems app and the playbook. And then I think at that point, here, note for editor, give me just a moment. Here we go. If this video helped you see a path forward here, instead of just giving you a pile of tools and buzzwords, if it helped you, and this is something that you feel you can get results for, give us a thumbs up on this video so that the world knows that this video is worth watching. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. And by the way, don't forget, comment on the niche down below. If you have an atomic problem idea, pop it down below and I'll build it for you in a future video. And then, don't forget to grab your free playbook of the your free playbook of the Atomic Problem app below. And there you go. If you want more training like this, then make sure you subscribe to the channel. You'll see that red subscribe button down below. Give it a tap, and I'll see you in a future video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now. Okay, audience, I'm not going anywhere. That was kind of a long script. It was longer than I thought it was. Cool, and I'm going to do questions. So we're going to do a live Q&A. I got the chat up here. I'll rewind and go through questions. And I would like to know any questions that you might have about this whole idea of atomic problems or using Build the AI to solve them. So drop in any relevant comments. We'll also do open questions in just a minute. But before I do that, I'm going to take a super quick break and grab some caffeine. And so here, let me do our YouTube ad break. And we'll be right back in just a moment. Okay, well, Twitter and some of you here on YouTube still sees me, so we have that going. So stand by, everyone. Just want to rest my voice for a moment and take some coffee. Let's see, how long have we been going? And who here is new, by the way? Usually I'm not solo. Usually my trusty sidekick, producer Nick, who's also my oldest son. He is also part of our show and of our channel. He's also the one that runs the Ingeniosity newsletter, which, by the way, I need to put that in the chat. Shoot. 1 second. If you haven't subscribed to that yet, let me get the link. I think that's it. Just grab it here. Yes. Okay. I'll pop this link out there. And the playbook is not published yet. For those of you who are here, the playbook is not published yet. Producer Nick is out sick. He will be back, and then the playbook will be published, and it will be sent to everyone who becomes a subscriber. And let me just pop this out into Twitter as well. Okay. And those of you who want to try out the Atomic Problem app, it's just atomicproblems.com. So for those of you who are here live with me, you can go check that out. That won't be in the final video, but if you're here live, it's just atomicproblems.com. And you could use the app, and then definitely subscribe to the newsletter. And then as soon as Nick has this, the playbook published, he'll send it to you by email, and you'll be able to go download it. Cool. Well, then with that, let's do some Q&A. And, I see people asking about the playbook. So yeah, if you want the playbook, you need to be an Ingeniosity subscriber. So just grab that at that link I put in there, which is pushbutton.ai/subscribe. So only Ingeniosity subscribers will get the playbook. It'll be put in the library of playbooks that we have in there, and we will email it to you. So Nick, once he gets this up and live, he'll email it directly to you. And to get it, just subscribe there. And who knows, if he's feeling better tomorrow, maybe it might even be as soon as tomorrow. Cool. I see Boria joined us. Hey. Awesome transmission. Thanks. Well, you're welcome. And then Tammy's asking how to get the playbook. So the same answer there. Just subscribe to Ingeniosity, and we will email it to you. Let's see. John also looking for the link. Yeah. So the link is pushbutton.ai/subscribe. That is the link to the newsletter. Pushbutton.ai/subscribe. That should be in the chat right now. And there you go. And then if you want the app, it's Atomic Problems with an S. But definitely subscribe to the newsletter. And he's going to give you instructions on the best way to use the app, and plus a bunch of ways to really understand when you've got a good atomic problem. And there we go. Oh, interesting. It looks like, sorry, distracted by the Twitter feed. And so Bill asks, do we have to subscribe? If you want the playbook, yes. So the playbook is a subscriber-only benefit for those who subscribe to the Ingeniosity newsletter. So the newsletter comes every Friday is when it's supposed to be sent out. And in it is a bunch of really useful content about building and growing a business. And subscribers to that newsletter will get this playbook. That's how it works. And any other questions? And we will pop it to open questions. So anything at all, any questions you've got, pop those in there now. And I'm here to help you. So I do have a bit of experience doing this stuff. So I've been building businesses for way over 25 years now on the internet. So this goes way, way back. I've been able to generate over $100 million in results over that time. So I want to take all that hard-won knowledge and use it to help you right here, right now. So pop your questions, any questions at all about starting, building, growing, questions about building.ai, or anything else, pop them in now, and we'll do a round of Q&A here before we wrap things up. And it's interesting. I tried the streaming on Vertical today, and it seems like we got lower numbers on the show than usual. So I don't know if that actually hurt it or helped it. I am unsure. It did seem like we picked up some viewers. I see YouTube says we had 378 views on the Vertical stream. But it does not look like it really helped our viewer numbers, and maybe it hurt it. That's kind of weird. Just interesting facts here. And then I have no idea what's happening on X. X says we've gotten lots of views, almost 5,000 views on the live stream on X, but I haven't seen a single person comment there. So it's a very interesting experiment today. I'll try to give you guys more of a breakdown next week on next week's show. once I've had a chance to analyze the traffic and the results from all that. Okay, so Brooke subscribed to Ingeniosity. Thank you. Awesome. Then, yeah, we'll send you that playbook. Looking forward to working with you. That's cool. And then, Shelly endorses the newsletter. So Shelly is letting Bill know it's free and it's an amazing newsletter. New business ideas every week. So thanks for that endorsement and recommendation, Shelly. Thank you for that. And then again, if any of you want to use the Buildy quiz app, so I pinned that comment in the chat on YouTube, and I'll be watching what you guys build. Let me know if any of you have used it, your feedback. I would love to hear about that. We're going to be talking about the Buildy quiz app in the school group. So again, I'll remind you, school is a great place to hang out with me. It sounds funny. Yeah, we can go hang out in school. And I would highly recommend you do that, because in there, it's not just about Buildy. That's the primary thing, but it's about building your business and launching and scaling it. And primarily, everyone in there is using Buildy AI to build and launch their business. And there's a lot of help to be had there. And so I'm going to be carrying our conversation today over into school. And we're going to talk about the quiz app that my son Dylan created. He literally created it just day before yesterday. We put it live on the servers this morning, and now you get to use it. And then we want to improve it and make it really awesome to help people. I found that a lot of people, they get stuck. They go to buildy.ai and it's like, wow, you can build anything. And then they get kind of brain freeze. Ooh, what do I build? So this quiz is designed to solve that. So if you're not sure what you should build, you're not sure what niche to go into, that quiz will help you with that. And again, that's buildy.ai/quiz is where that's at. And let me get the school group link one more time. 1 second here. The invite link, got it. I will pop it into the chat one more time. So go join us over there. Several of you have. So thanks for that. And let me see if we have any other questions coming in. Brooke asks, can you do a session about the steps to take to set up payment systems for a new app? Absolutely. Which, by the way, I know that this is a pain point for people. And, I keep bringing up Dylan, but Dylan, my other son, he's he's the super brain behind a lot of the stuff you see at Buildy. And he's a data scientist, machine learning expert. And he's does a lot of the really powerful behind the scenes AI and machine learning stuff that powers Buildy. And that is a problem that he is solving right now. I know last night he was working on this very problem, and very soon I can announce, how do I want to say this? We're going to make payment processing incredibly easy. So you know how easy it is to go prompt Buildy, right? When you go to Buildy and you go, hey, build me an app that does X, Y, and Z. That's really easy, right? And then some of you have gone on to integrate Stripe, for example, so you can get paid. That's not as easy, and I recognize that. We've tried to make it easy, but it hasn't been a sticking point. So what Dylan has been working on is a complete flow that makes that so easy, so painless, and there isn't all this back and forth and copy and paste this and copy and paste that, and then go to Stripe and make your product and then make your product price. And it really streamlines the whole thing. So I don't want to say too much more, but there's an entirely new way of setting up Stripe for payments that is coming. And it's specifically to help everyone in the school community who's been talking about Stripe. I've been listening, even though you don't see me commenting in there. I've been quietly listening and watching. And we have a huge improvement on payments coming. So you'll see more about that very, very soon. Okay. Okay, this is a question from Jay Chrysler Marketing. So you've subscribed to Ingeniosity at least twice in the past, and it keeps going away. I don't know why it would go away. So the only thing I could say is that email is a finicky thing. So if you've subscribed to Ingeniosity, if Gmail or whatever email tool you're using might be throwing it into the spam folder, right? Because our content, we're talking about marketing, we're talking about sales, entrepreneurship, and these all have keywords in it that the spam filters hate. So you might see some of our stuff getting, stuck in the junk folder. So just make sure, go look for it there. Make sure you mark it not spam if you find it in there. So that might be what's happening. I'm not sure, but there's nothing on our end that would remove you unless you click unsubscribe. If you click unsubscribe, it will remove you from the newsletter. Otherwise, they go out every time Nick sends them. They go out to everyone. Brooke says, solving the app payment process for newbies would be amazing. What time frame to launch? Well, it's being worked on right now. So I know tonight this is a topic that Dylan and I are working on together, mostly him. I get to shout words of encouragement, but he's working on this very thing tonight. And I know it'll have to go through testing. So we have a whole QA process that happens here when a new feature is released. We roll it onto our staging servers. We test the heck out of it. Then it goes to production. So, it could be, I don't want to get anybody's hopes up, but I would say sometime in the next week, could be as soon as 2 days, maybe. But I'm speculating. And every time I say this, I know the developers hate it. So it's coming soon. They're working on it right now. Could be days, could be a week. Stay tuned for more announcements. Okay. Yeah, Chris, I don't know what to say about the Ingeniosity issues. Yeah, I don't know nothing on our side that I know of that would unsubscribe you without without your permission. So I'm at a loss on how to fix that. I will look into it though. So I'll chat with Nick. We'll take a look at the email software we're using to run the newsletter. And we're actually thinking of moving. So we've been using Beehive for some time to run our newsletter. I think we're going to move out of there. But so maybe when we move, you'll get your emails correctly. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, cool. Brooke is signing up to be our first test user. Yeah, so Brooke, since you're in the school group, you'll find out about it. Like I'll post it in there. So I'm going to announce it in the school group, and I might even do a live stream in there inside school when we release that. Okay, cool. Well, then I'm going to do a final round of questions. So if you have any questions for me that I can help you with either researching and launching your business, scaling it, getting traffic, using Buildy, anything at all, ask those now. And then we're going to be winding things down in just a moment. So I can feel my throat, my voice going. So how'd I do today for fighting off COVID while I'm live? So hopefully I wasn't too low energy today. I might have been. Apologies if that's the case. I know I was a little bit scatterbrained starting the show by myself, but hopefully the show came through okay. And even the version of me with COVID is still good enough for the live stream. And then here, I'm going to do a quick break over on YouTube, and we'll be right back with the final questions. I'll see you in just a minute. All right. So normally I play a commercial here, but Nick is my commercial guy, so I don't have my commercials to play. So you guys just get to watch me drink coffee. But don't forget, put your questions in now. If you are seeing me, like those of you on Twitter, or X, I guess I should call it, you're still seeing me. Some of you on YouTube, if you've got YouTube Premium, or sometimes YouTube doesn't show the ads like it's supposed to, then pop in your final questions. We're going to do our final round before we wrap things up. And Oh, I see the emoji responses coming in. Thanks for that. I don't know why those the little dopamine hit it gives me. I guess I don't know. I like those things. All right, cool. Well, then let's carry on and do the final round of questions. I think everybody should be back from that break, and I think I've got my very last sip of coffee left. There we go. Polished it off. Okay. Maybe it wasn't me. Says, thank you. It's amazing that you and Nick are so active in school and participate. Oh, thanks. I try. I see so many people in there having, talking and having threads, and I so want to participate in every single thread, but it's like impossible. I gotta run the company. But I do my best. I try to pop into school often and help out. So, Sally says I've been great. So thanks for that. Oh yeah. Pete says no silly jokes. Yeah, I don't have. So usually I tell my dad jokes to Nick, and with him gone, I can tell a dad joke to you. You should. Well, we can end on a final dad joke today. Okay. Frank says you did great, but we miss Nick. I will tell him that. He'll appreciate that. Oh, Sally, I just figured out how to get deep research. Awesome. Yeah, you can get deep research for free. I forget how many they limit you to on ChatGPT, but even a free account still gets deep research. It just might be like 3, maybe, I'm guessing. Brooke says outstanding session. Thanks. Great. Oh, glad to hear that. When was the last update of Ingeniosity? Last update was 10/27. I don't know. Nick runs that newsletter. That's a Nick question, and unfortunately, he's out sick. I'm almost positive we've sent an issue since then, but I will investigate. So that is now 2 people that are having issues getting their issues. So I will dig into that a little bit, and we'll see if maybe there's something happening with our email software that I got to fix. So Sally has a joke. How many ears did Davy Crockett have? 3, a left ear, a right ear, and a wild front ear. That's funny. Thank you for that. So here, I think that's it for questions. So I'm gonna break out. We'll break out one to finish the show off with. So this is in honor of Nick. We'll do our dad joke. Here we go. Let's see. This one's kind of funny. So this is not a question, so I can just say it. It's you ready? The easiest time to add insult to injury is when you're signing someone's cast. I like that one. Next time I sign a cast, I will apply that. I will apply that. But there you go. See, the dumber the joke is, it's kind of the better it is. So hope you like that one. And on that note, we're going to wrap things up. I want to thank you for spending some time with me, and putting up with the solo sick Bill, but appreciate you. And I will see you inside the school group. So everybody, I'll see you in there, and I'll give all those big announcements that I've been teasing over in the school group. And with that, we're going to wrap it up. So goodbye for now.